Alright, so I got a bunch of topics that I wanted to talk about, and I always end up doing some stupid politically charged one, but I got fun ones I want to talk about too. So I didn't know which one to do first out of like 4. So I ended up choosing this one, which is I'm just going to chat about seasons. So I live in New England, most specifically Connecticut. So obviously we get the seasons. Yeah, so I was just going to talk about the favorite one to the least favorite one. I figured it's better that way, best to worst. Start out strong, end out, can't say weak, it won't be weak, there'll be enough to complain about, but end out on a bad note, I guess. So anyways, favorite season, easily, is summer. Tons of reasons. First off, obviously the weather's nice. Even if it's a cloudy day, it's still warm. You know what I mean? And it's easy too when you get dressed. So simple. If you don't know, like for me when I have work, it's business casual kind of. So I still gotta wear pants and socks and dress shoes, and then, I'll put on like a polo or something. But if it's a day off, super simple. Throw on a pair of basketball shorts and a t-shirt, boom, done. I don't need socks or anything. I'll just wear my slides. That's it. Super easy. Sometimes it's even easier. Like I'll wear like an AT to bed, and then in the morning what I do is I'll just get up and throw basketball shorts on and boom, done. I'm already wearing the AT. So getting dressed and undressed is super convenient in summer. The second thing that's cool about summer is I like to go swimming. Now, granted, you can go swimming year-round at, the Y or some other... Like, we have a local place. I guess it's like a little mom-and-pop gym / they have a pool. So, yeah, you can go there, but you gotta pay. And it's indoors, and it's in a pool. And when I say I like to go swimming, I mean I like to go swimming at, like, a lake or a pond or, fun outdoorsy places. Like, there's this, when I was younger, I have no idea where it is now, but my friends and I used to go to this place, like, in the woods near where his mom lived, and there was a trail, and then there was a bridge, and we'd jump off the bridge, and, there's like not a river, but like a big stream, I guess, below that you'd jump into, and it was cool. I'm like, that's what's fun about summer swimming. So, obviously, that's opportunities abound. Anywhere that there's a body of water, you can go swimming in it. Well, relatively. I mean, some places, again, near where I live, there's kind of like a lake a river, that has a reputation of being gross. Like, they make jokes. I don't know if they're jokes or if they're real, but about frogs with, like, extra limbs and stuff. So, I don't think you want to swim in that one, but, what else is cool about summer? Obviously, all like the outdoor sporting events. Yeah, there's sporting events in winter as well, but those are obviously uncomfortable. Like if you go to a football game and it's outdoor, you're sitting there freezing, and especially if it's like windy and they got metal chairs or something. Ugh, wicked uncomfortable. At least in summer, it's cool. And most times the sporting events are later, so it's like dusk and then it turns into night, and it's just nice and warm and no sun blazing on you, and you're just relaxing. What else is cool about summer? Well, one thing I always say is I feel like it's easier to cool down than it is to warm up. Think about if you're hot. You hop in your car, open the windows, and go. Now you're getting that breeze. Or if you're home, turn on a freezing cold shower, hop in, and now you're cold. I can't get into this. We'll get into it in the winter part. But, yeah. Or, again, like swimming. You're sweating, jump in the body of water, boom, you don't even feel it anymore. That's something I always think about, too. Are you technically still sweating when you're in the water? You just don't realize it because you're full of water? You know what I mean? Because if it's hot out and you're sweating, are you still sweating? Like, it doesn't just go... Because think about it. Then when you dry yourself off, you start sweating again. So it's like, well, are you starting to sweat again? Or have you been sweating the whole time? You just didn't realize because you were wet. I don't know. Maybe that's dumb. Maybe it's not as deep as I think it is. Let's see, though. What else is cool about summer? Obviously, exercise. Like, I've been wanting to go to the track, but I'm not doing it now. First off, we just had a lot of snow here recently. And I don't even know if they bother plowing the track. I doubt it. Why would they bother worrying about a track, you know? But then I thought, well, I could still walk down the road, but there's two things. One, it could be icy and dangerous, and two, it's just cold. It's not comfortable to be outside and doing physical activity when it's cold. I mean, right now, it's 34 out, so that's not too bad, but still, once you're going and you're panting, then you get that weird cold air, the coughs that happen. Ugh. Oh, I don't want to talk about that. That's for winter. But still, yeah, so summer, it's great weather for exercise. Well, sometimes it's a little bit too much, like humidity and stuff. That can make it oppressive, but it's more ideal than winter. Let's put it that way. What else is cool about summer? Man, when I planned this out, I had a lot to say, and now I feel like I'm stumbling. I almost feel like hating on winter is easier than praising summer. I mean, I guess the things I don't like about summer are, like I just alluded to, I don't like humidity. Humidity sucks. I remember one day last year, the air temperature was 70 degrees, which 70 degrees is okay. I mean, you can comfortably wear pants and a short sleeve shirt and feel fine. But the humidity was super high, and it just felt so hot and oppressive out. And it was just weird when I saw it said 70. I was like, how is it 70? Because it's super humid, that's how. So humidity sucks. And then in conjunction with, I don't know if it's in conjunction with it, but I also hate like the little bugs, the mayflies and all those mosquitoes. Mosquitoes were annoying last year. You'd try to hang, or not last year specifically, but I noticed last year we were trying to hang out outside, and always around 8 o'clock, that's when the mosquitoes started coming out. And I don't know what the heck's up with 8 o'clock, and all of a sudden the mosquitoes are out, but that's when they were coming out, and it's just annoying. It kind of ruins your time while you're just trying to hang out outside and just enjoy the evening. So, and then the mayflies, they suck if you're trying to do anything, like you're playing sports or whatever, and you got 25 billion flies going around your head. That's annoying. And then they get in your eyes, or they get in your ears, or both, and ugh. So I don't like that. Another thing, it doesn't really affect me too much anymore, because I just live in an apartment with no yard. But there's also the yard work in summer. That sucks. Mowing, and then clipping up brushes, weed whacking. Ugh, that's no fun. Like, that's, I don't want to call it exercise, but for lack of a better word, it's like forced exercise, but it's not fun. It's not fun if you're forced. I just thought of something else that was positive for summer now. Oh yeah, the long days. That's something that's always cool about summer too, the longer days, which technically summer days are actually shorter, because the first day of summer, the summer solstice, that's the longest day of the year. So that means it's downhill from there. So technically summer's days get shorter every day, but they just don't feel that way because you're out enjoying them more. You know, you're outside, you're out doing things. You're swimming, or you're going for a hike or something, and then like you're out late, you're out until it's dusky, where, you know, other times of the year you're just in. So even if it's light out long, you don't really realize because you're just in, you know. But I was thinking about that. It's kind of funny because like we always associate summer with longer days, but they're not really longer. We just make the best of them in summer. Is there anything else to say about summer? I don't know. That's another thing I don't like about summer, sunburns. Ugh, I got a violent sunburn last year, and it has changed my skin. It was the top of my back, and like, it's different now. It's all like pucky. So that's no fun. That's something I'm gonna have to consider this year. The ironic part too is where I got that sunburn, I had just recently shaved off the hair that was there, because I don't know, it was getting kind of tall and I thought it looked weird poking out of the back of my shirt, so I shaved it off. And then a couple weeks later, it's when we went to the beach, and then boom, sunburn. And all I could think is there a correlation? Like, if I didn't shave, would this not have happened? And aloe vera, aloe vera. Okay, or is it aloe vera? I don't know, the green gel crap that they say you should put on if you have a sunburn. Yeah, that don't work. I put that stuff on one day and it burned so much worse. Like, I got out of the shower, my back was burning, so I put some of the stuff on, And it made it so much worse. I had to go back in the shower to wash that crap off. I don't know who thinks that's supposed to work. It does not work. Seems like all these recommendations never work, actually, now that I think about it. Because if you've paid attention to any of my previous videos, you know, I have my skin problem, my atopic dermatitis on my hands. And I buy the creams that say especially for eczema and blah blah, and it's supposed to, you know, help moisturize and remove flakiness. And yeah, on the package it sounds awesome, and I'm like, all right, cool, remove the flakiness, cool, I'll have smooth hands and blah blah blah. And I try it, and the stuff burns like nobody's business. I mean, it's literally paralyzing. I can't move my fingers or anything because my hands are on fire when I put that stuff on. And I'm like, how do they think this is supposed to work for people with eczema? There's no way I'm the only one experiencing this. There's no way other people that have skin problems use that stuff and think, oh, this feels nice. Like, it kills. I mean, I bought this new one. Like I said, the package sounded perfect. I was like, man, this sounds great. I'm going to try this. And I put it on. And yeah, not great by any means at all. I always moisturize at night when I'm in bed, just because I don't know, my moisturizers are usually messy, and I don't want to be awake and touching stuff and then everything's getting all greasy. So I figure if I'm in bed, it's just my bed that's getting greasy. I don't want my bed looking gross with, you know, lotion grease stains. But if I can control it to one area, then that's what I do. So anyways, yeah, I'm laying in bed and I'm trying to moisturize, and my hands are just flaming up, basically. And I'm like, yeah, so much for this being for eczema. I can tell I'm never using this again. Which sucks, because the only thing that really does work for me is a product called Bag Balm. I don't know if you ever heard of it. It comes in a green tin. It's, depending on where you go, it's not that expensive. I mean, if you go to Walmart, it's like $8. But if you go to like a pharmacy like CVS or Rite Aid, it's like $15. Like, they jack the price way up. So just be smart when you go and buy some if you're interested. Go to Walmart, $8, not bad. But yeah, that's the only stuff that works for me. It doesn't burn at all, and it does a pretty good job at like lubricating my fingers. Like, sometimes they get all stiff because they're so dry and cracked, and once I work that stuff in, then my hands are normal and they function just fine. The only problem with the Bag Balm is it's a very messy product. Like, it doesn't absorb into your skin at all. It just creates a barrier, which sucks. It's ridiculously messy. That's the only problem I have with it. But anyhow, how do you even get on that tangent? What was I talking about that was summer related? Oh yeah, the sunburns. And how aloe vera or whatever that stuff's called sucks. Don't use it. It lies. And this, I mean, who knows? Maybe it only burned me because my sunburn was really bad. I mean, clearly, like I said, it changed my skin. Maybe if you got like a 1 degree burn, you're fine. I probably got like a 4th degree burn from the sun. So, anyhow, is that it for summer? Jeez, I feel like there's so much more that I like about summer. Like, I think about summer and I associate it with like cruising around with the windows down and your music up, and it's just relaxing. You get your t-shirt on and shorts, and you're just hanging back, cutting loose, cruising. I think about how it's not dark until it's actually like a nighttime type of hour, like, you know, not 5 p.m. but 9 p.m. I don't know. I guess I said it all. So anyways, in second, it's an equal tie, would be spring and fall. So spring and fall aren't my favorite, but they're not my least favorite either. They do have benefits each, and they also have their is each. Like, for example, for spring's cool because it's a turnaround. You're starting to feel better. You know, the time's coming around. It's like, ooh, it's just been winter. It's been cold and icy, snowy. Even if there is no snow and ice, it's still been cold and miserable. And now there's the upswing. You know, leaves are starting to grow back. Flowers are starting to bloom. You know, days are feeling a little bit longer. It's a little bit warmer out. It might only be 50 for a high, but you know what? That's still better than 30. So it's starting to get a little bit warmer. And you don't need as much clothes. Maybe you can go out with just enough layers of shirts that you don't need your jacket anymore, and it's starting to get better. But at the same time, it's not super awesome because, I mean, it still can get cold, and most of spring is like a weird transitional phase where it can still snow and all that other crap. I mean, I remember a year when it snowed in May. Like, it's almost June, which is considered summer, and here it is snowing in May. So, you still got to deal with some wintry effects. Or, is that the way I meant to phrase that? Winteriness? Maybe I should have just said winteriness. But still, it's kind of on the positive. It's like, all right, we're entering spring. That means summer's around the corner, and then, yes! And then as far as fall, well, fall's kind of the opposite. Because when fall comes around, well, now, I don't want to say you're sick of summer, but, towards, like they say, August, dog days of summer, and September can have a lot of them too. And it's just hot, and you're just always hot every single day. And then, like, fall starts to come around, and temperatures are a little cooler. And it starts to be, like, a relief. Like, oh, wow, I can go to bed tonight and actually sleep. I'm not going to be laying there sweating up a storm. And so it's kind of like a relief. At the same time, it's sad, because you're like, well, I don't want summer to go away, but this relief is nice. And then, that's when the leaves change, and everybody's, ooh, and you want to go up to, like, New Hampshire and Maine, because that's where it's better. And then that's when, like, you get the fun holidays come around, like Halloween and Thanksgiving. Those are both part of fall months. So, you get those, and you get all those themed things. You get the pumpkin spice drinks, and you get the the decor that comes along with it, of everybody putting out, like, their leaves and the corn on the cob things and then all that for the festive decorations. So, you see that. But then at the same time, you're like, well, winter's around the corner now. Great. Basically even though fall starts in September, by November, it's like it can be wintry already. I mean, geez, this year's, or 2020's Halloween snowed. Halloween Day, it snowed. So, and I associate snow with winter, not fall. So we were a month into fall and it was already snowing. So, there's that you got to think about. Yeah, there's the cool, happy stuff. But then at the same time, winter. So that's why spring and fall are in the middle. I guess out of the two, I'd say I prefer spring. Like, if I had to put one as second place, then spring would win and fall would be in third. Because at least spring is more happy connotations. You're coming out. It's like coming out of a depression, You're coming out of it. And it's only positive happiness from here. Even if the next day sucks, the next day after that could be better. Maybe day X is, 60 degrees, and you're like, oh, this is cool. But then the weather's saying the next day's going to be 30 again. But then they're saying the day after that's going to be 70, and you're like, all right, it's getting there. We can deal with one crappy day. Which I know that sounds extreme, but again, like I said, I'm from Connecticut, and that's how New England weather is. I mean, the jokes, New England's weather, it's pretty real. I mean, there was days in recently, what was that? Maybe it was this past fall, where it was warm, like it was hitting 70s, and then the next day it was down to like the 40s. And that's what it does around here. It just doesn't make sense. Anyhow, though, so yeah. So that's why spring would win, because then fall's kind of like going into a depression. You were all happy and at your high point, and then you're like, oh man, I know what's coming. I know what's coming. It's okay still for now, but I know what's coming. So yeah, if I had to, 2 and 3, spring and fall. But at the end of the day, I just count them as the same thing. They're just both tied at 2. And then in dead last, 3rd or 4th, whichever metric you want to use, is winter. I hate winter. I'm not really, even though I hate winter, I don't think I'm ever really going to want to move away and be somewhere that's summery all the time only, like some people do. I hate winter, but I'll just deal with it, whatever. But winter's just miserable for way too many reasons. I hate snow. I mean, yeah, the first snow that you get of the season looks nice. It's all, especially when it's fresh, it's all smooth and even and flat, and it just covers everything, and it looks good, and it's like, but then after that, it just gets annoying. Like, I don't want snow. I don't want to try to drive in it. I don't want to have to try to walk in it. I don't want to have to anything. I don't want to have to shovel. Like, I think about it. Snow is just precipitation. Did I say that right the first time? I think I said participation like an idiot the first time. Precipitation. that Coke. That Coke actually wasn't a joke because snow's white. I said Coke because I was drinking a Coke, like soda. It was just a weird timing for that one. But anyways, yeah, it's like a weird, rude precipitation that happens. Like rain, you don't really have to worry about rain. I mean, unless you get like flooding, but otherwise you don't have to clean up after it rains. But snow, you got to go out and shovel, or you got to pay guys overtime so they can plow the roads, or you know what I mean? It's like it's a weird, rude precipitation. Like, thanks, Earth. Now I get to clean up after you. So that's annoying. And like also when the roads are crappy, that can possibly affect my time with my daughter. Like that's annoying too. I don't like that. Like recently we had another mini snowstorm. What's today? So today is a Wednesday. So this was last week. Yeah, last Tuesday. We had a little bit, and I didn't try to risk it and go home with my daughter. I picked her up, but then I just stayed local to where her mom lives. We just went to a few stores, got some dinner, and then I brought her back. But see, it interrupted my time with her. If it wasn't crappy out, we could have spent our full time together instead of like half. Which actually, bringing her back home, I ended up discovering was a good choice. At first, I wasn't sure. I was like, am I just being a little baby? But no, the ride home was pretty dangerous. I almost got stuck twice, and I was thinking, man, good thing I did this. I would not want to be trying to bring her back home in this crap, and then and then that means I'd have to try to get back home when it was worse. You know, it was crappy then. Give it another hour, it'd be even worse. So I was like, this was a good choice on my part to do this. But still, F you, snow. Thanks for messing with my schedule. Like, you couldn't have snowed on Monday or Wednesday when it doesn't affect me. And all I gotta do is get myself home after work, and that's all. So anyways, yeah. So I hate the snow. I hate snowball fights. I hate all that crap. And that's another thing too, like with snow. I mean, I usually am pretty careful in the snow. I'm not someone who's going to be stupid. Like, you see these idiots that, like, try to gun it, and they're like, oh, yeah, because they think they're going to, like, drift and power slide. It's like, look, that's dumb on your part. If you don't know how to do that stuff on dry roads naturally with your car, don't be trying to do it in the snow, because that means you don't know what you're doing. And that means you're just going to end up spinning out because you don't have any skills, actually, and and then you're going to endanger other people because you're an idiot. So, anyhow, I'm not one of those. I'm not like, I don't even do it in abandoned parking lots, because I think, my luck, somehow I'll end up, like, hitting into a wall. Somehow. I'll, like, skid out way too much. My car will just slide way off, and I'll be like, that's fine, nothing's wrong. And then, what the heck did I hit? So, I don't ever do it. But my point is, though, is, you know, I always try to be careful, but I think, you know, what if? What if you just hit that one spot that sends you off and you get into an accident? Or, you know, it doesn't matter how careful I am. I always think about, what about the idiots behind me? All it takes is one person behind me not paying attention, and they either try to stop too late, and then they slide on the snow or whatever, and now they're rear-ending me, or, you know, and that's just too many things to think about. And then I have to be, like, overly cautious, because when I'm driving, I'm paying attention both in front of me and behind me. How close is this idiot? How close is this? I gotta keep paying attention. Just so then I know, okay, if it looks like he's not stopping, I gotta be able to roll. So, like, I have to... So then I gotta plan my stops at a light to be way far behind, just in case. Then if he's sliding, I have enough space so I can move up, and hopefully he doesn't hit me. Like, I hate how I have to drive paying attention to other people's driving skills as well, because they don't know how to drive. It's ridiculous. So that's just something else to hate about the snow, because other people are too irresponsible. Like, it's always dumb, too, when you see these people with, like, a truck or a Jeep, and they're just cruising right along, like, oh, yeah, nothing's gonna happen, I got four-wheel drive. It's like, just because you have four-wheel drive doesn't make you invincible, and I don't know why people always think that. You know what that means now? That means instead of 2 tires spinning out on the road, now you got 4. Because on a normal car, there's only two tires that are driving, and then the other 2 are basically just being dragged along. So if you got all-wheel drive, it means you got 4 tires cruising along that have, you know what I mean? You doubled your chance that you could skid out, essentially. Yeah, the idea is that, well, with all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, that's less of a chance, because maybe, say, the front 2 start skidding up, but the back 2 have grip. So now the back 2 can get you pushed up so you're still safe, and then those front two can grip, and that's the idea. But in practice, or in theory, it could possibly make you more dangerous. And plus, you could be more dangerous just because you're not driving carefully. No, you're driving like an idiot, like, oh yeah, I'm good, I'm fine, nothing's gonna happen. So you're cruising along on a back road at 45 when everyone else is going 15 because you think you're Mr. Invincible now. And I hate that. I saw it the other day. Today's Wednesday, so Monday. It snowed Monday. We got out of work a little bit early. The roads were kind of crappy. Not super bad, but not the greatest either. Like, it was definitely, be careful. If speed limit's 40, definitely go at least like 20. That would be reasonable. But anyways, so I don't know which the heck way I was going. Let's say I was going southbound. There was a guy on the northbound way in a truck, an F-150, and he's just cruising along. You could tell he was just cruising. He was definitely going 40. Like, if the speed limit was 40, he was going 40 or 45. Like, he was just cruising. And it was like, you're an idiot. Just because you're in a truck and you have the all-wheel drive stuff doesn't make you invincible. The snow doesn't give a F. It's slippery, and if it wants you to slide, you're gonna slide. Because, like, think about this. You're stopping. The stopping doesn't make a difference if you have four-wheel drive. Your brakes all activate as it is normally. So if the roads are slick and you go to stop and you just slide, what difference did it make? What difference did it make that you had all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive? None. So just don't drive like an idiot and go fast, because now your stopping distance is doubled or tripled with the snow sliding. So that's just something I hate too, because like I said, I gotta worry about other people. I know what I'm doing. I'm being safe and cautious myself, but it's these other morons that I gotta be mindful for, which is ridiculous. I shouldn't have to drive for two people. So yeah, and then I just hate the cold. I hate in the morning when you go out in your car and it's just freezing and you can't even turn on your heat right away because it's not ready. So you go out in your car in the morning and then you got to sit and wait for it to warm up before you can even turn the heat on. So that's annoying too. Again, like I was talking about with summer is much easier. In summer, you just open the windows and go. Winter, you got to wait for your car to warm up and then you can go. Enough of that, though. Going on about cars. Anyways, so what else do I not like winter for? I don't like how you have to bundle up. I guess technically you don't have to, but that just makes sense to do so. Like, you see people with shorts or whatever, and you're like, look at this idiot. It just makes sense to bundle up. So the problem I have with bundling up is when you get home. So for me, usually when I get home from work, I like to take my clothes off and put my pajamas on. If I'm by myself, chances are I'm just staying in my underwear. I don't even bother getting dressed. Sometimes it's chilly because I don't keep my apartment super warm because I try to be cheap. But, it's warm enough that just underwear works. But anyways, there's times where I'm putting everything away and it just feels like it's forever. I got to take my hat off, take my jacket off, put those away. Take off. Usually I have at least two shirts. You take off the first shirt, put that on, put that away. Take off the second shirt, put away my belt, my pants, my socks. And then if it's cold enough, because of my stupid skin condition, I wear gloves. So then I got to put away my gloves. And if I wear 3 shirts, then I got the other shirt. Like a lot of times, like if I'm semi-dressed up, that'll be like a t-shirt, a button-down, and then like a sweater vest or something. So then I'm putting that away, and I'm just standing there in front of my closet, which feels like forever. And I'm like, God, this is ridiculous. So that's something else I don't like. Like I said, in summer, it's so easy. You throw on a t-shirt and shorts, boom, done. Winter, you're standing around forever just to get ready or unready. And then that's the thing too, like you kind of do have to bundle up to some degree, otherwise you're going to be uncomfortable and cold, possibly raise your chances of getting sick because of your exposure to the weather. Speaking of that too, that's another thing I don't like about winter. You're more susceptible to getting sick, which is kind of weird because people say that, like when you're in school, what does your science teacher always do? They leave the window open in winter. Oh, the cold air helps kill germs. But it's like, I don't know if that logic is correct. You'd think it is, but why are we always sick in winter if cold air kills germs? You'd think summer months would be when everybody's sick. No one's sick in summer. It's always winter. So I don't know if that theory holds up as well as they'd like to think it does. When does everybody get a cold? Winter. No one ever has a cold in summer. Or it's a lot less. You get 1 cold in summer versus the 4 you get in the winter months. one a month basically. So, anyway, yeah, it's another thing to hate. Worried about getting sick, or at least the colds. I don't usually get like sick per se. It's just colds. I get colds all the time, all sniffly and stuffed up and sneezy, and it's just annoying. Especially now in the days of stupid COVID, it makes it even more awkward, because then you're like, great, now people are going to think I have COVID and be all scared. Oh my God, what's he all sniffly for? Oh my God, I'm not going near him. Relax. It's just normal. It's winter, this happens. But anyhow, yeah, clothes and sickness, And then another thing I don't like about winter is how it's dangerous. So yeah, I talked about how it's dangerous when you're driving, and I pay attention to the idiots behind me, and I gotta pay attention to people in front of me, and the road conditions, and blah, blah, blah. But then there's also, like, your own personal body. It can be dangerous. You're walking around, like, for example, my job, they have their own truck, just a regular pickup truck with a plow on it, and they plow out the driveway themselves. Well, obviously it's not going to be super perfect, so there's areas that'll get icy, so like that's something you got to watch out for when you're walking in the parking lot. I hope I don't slip and fall. Or what's even more accurate is my apartment, the stairs. God, my stairs. It's funny because a lot of people that come over are afraid of my stairs because of the heights. I don't know what they think. What do you think? You're going to fall over the edge or something? I don't know. But it's always the height. Oh, God, I don't like this. I don't like this. For me, I don't care about that. What I don't like is my stairs in winter, because they're super dangerous. I've fallen down them, or slid down them, I should say, too many times. The first time, which probably was the worst, was when my daughter was very young. She was like 2 or so, maybe 3. Whatever the case was, she wasn't good with stairs, so I used to carry her. And, like, I slipped, and I tried my best to hold on to her while I was sliding down the stairs, but it was just like... Luckily for both of us, we were young. Obviously, she's wicked young, and I was much younger. Well, not really much. That was like, 6 years ago? But still. So it didn't hurt me as bad. Now I fell down the stairs recently, or slid down the stairs recently, just this past November, and it ripped my pants I was wearing. It ripped my underwear. I didn't realize it ripped my underwear until after I did laundry, and I saw a pair of underwear with a huge rip in the butt, and I was like, what the heck is this? And then I realized, I must have been wearing these underwear the day that I fell down the stairs. But yeah, and then I busted myself up, so I hurt for the longest time. People were saying I probably broke my tailbone or something, or maybe not broke it, but just fractured or something, my tailbone. And yeah, it's frustrating. Plus, I had a drink with me that day, which went flying, so that was a waste. I mean, I just opened it too. I think it was a can of Surge I got from Dollar Store. It was basically just opened. I fell, the drink went flying, spilled all out. So much for that. It was a waste of my money. But yeah, what was worse, though, was the waste of my clothes, because I ended up throwing away those pants. They were sweatpants, and you can't fix them. They were shredded. Like, I kept wearing them because I was only going out for something quick, so I was like, whatever, I'm not going to change my pants. Who cares what these look like? I'm throwing them away as soon as I get back home anyways. But, yeah, and obviously I threw away the underwear. What good are underwear if there's a huge hole in the butt? But still, and, like, I'm much better feeling now than I was during those days, but, like, if I sit on the floor in my apartment, when I try to stand up, for some reason it kind of hurts. Like, it used to hurt everywhere, when I was in bed, when I was sitting in my chair at work, anything. Now it's better everywhere else. It's just on the floor. Something about sitting on the floor and I try to get up, it hurts a little bit. And yeah, so now I'm worried about my stairs, and so I use the hallway because obviously that's safer, but I hate the hallway. It's so tight and cramped and very impractical. I like the stairs because that's my direct entry. You know what I mean? Like, it goes straight up to my apartment only. The hallway goes to everybody. So at least it's more private when I use my stairs, sort of. I mean, they squeak like nobody's business, so the second floor hears me. It's not the wood that's squeaking. It's just they rub on the apartment. The boards are just a tad bit too wide, and they rub on the apartments. When I walk down, like, obviously the people on the second floor can hear me. Their window is right there, and I'm but still, it's my direct line, and, like, my shoes go right there. Once I walk in, my shoes, I have them all set up by that door, and there's room. I have space to move around. 1, right there at the door, and 2, once I get outside on the deck, where the hallway is super cramped. Like, maybe if you're a kid, it's fine, but I'm not a kid. I'm a decent-sized guy. It's just so cramped, and it's hard to put my shoes on, or if I have anything like laundry, I'm not trying to bring laundry out through the hallway. That's too ridiculous. Like, it's challenging sometimes just down my stairs, never mind through that tight hallway. But yeah, so that's another thing I hate, that dangerousness of what winter can bring with your body. And then there was another time too that I fell. I think it was, what was it? It might have been winter of 2018. Yeah, it was the winter of 2018, maybe November. It's always November that these things happen to me. But I fell down the front steps. Now the front steps, there's only 3. There's 3 steps, and they're like made out of a stone, like one stone that just was chiseled to make steps. And basically what happened was there was a little bit of ice on the deck. So I got my mail, I turned around and slid, and boom, went down those stairs. And that really banged up my arm, though. How I fell, it banged up my arm. And it hurt for a long time, like 6 months. It doesn't hurt so much anymore now, but I've been trying to work out a little bit recently. And when I'm doing some curls, it feels weird. Like it's my right arm that got hurt. So my left arm feels totally normal when I'm doing curls. It's just regular resistance from the weight, but the right arm feels weird. It almost feels like something wants to pop out or something wants to give out or something. I don't know how to explain it. But I'm like, great. This is probably because of when I fell. Because at the end of the day, my right arm is stronger than my left arm. Always has been. It's weird because I write with my left hand, but my right hand is dominant for everything else. I throw right, bat right, lift heavy stuff up. My first instinct is right arm to do it. So for it to be hurting like that, it's unnatural. So I assume it's from when I fell. So, it's just another reason to hate winter, because of the dangerousness. Granted, even though I hate winter, I don't remember if I already said this or not, but I wouldn't move anywhere. Like, old people, they move to Florida, or they do back and forth. They'll go down to Florida during the winter up in New England area, and then in summer they come back up to New England. I wouldn't do that. I'd just stay here. It is what it is, but doesn't mean I have to like it. Plus, when I was a kid, I hated snowball fights. That was annoying. I don't want snow all over my clothes and stuff, or in my face. That hurts. Someone throws a snowball and hits you in the face. It's practically like getting an ice ball launched at you. And then shoveling. I already went over that, how it's kind of just rude. The planet's just like, have fun working for no reason. I could have rained, but nah, I'm going to do this instead. And then the worst part, too, is when you really stop and break it down, snow, even though you can have a lot of snow, it doesn't really amount to anything precipitation-wise. Like, I think 1 inch of rain is a foot of snow. So 8 inches of snow is like a lot, and that's a pain in the butt and dangerous, and schools will shut down and stuff. But when you really stop and break it down, 8 inches of snow is only what, 3/4 an inch of rain, or 2/3 of an inch of rain. So it's basically nothing. So when all that melts, it's not even that much water, you know what I mean? Like, in comparison, like, it can rain in summertime, and it's like, oh, we had 3 inches of rain. Well, if that was snow, that'd be 36 inches. 3 feet. So, anyway, I think the only things that are good about winter are, one, although I said I like about summer how it's more friendly to be outside and you do more things and stuff, it is kind of nice, especially in the beginning of winter when you're staying in. The days are short, so obviously you're not out and about, you're just in. And it's kind of nice because it's like all those stupid home-in things that you like to do, you're justified in doing them. Like, if you want to just get home from work and play video games all night, it's fine. What else are you going to do? It's cold outside, it's dark outside. Where if you did that in summer, it's kind of like a waste of your day. You get home, it's still sunny out, it's warm out, go outside and do something. Don't sit in front of your TV. So, it's nice in the beginning, like I was saying. After a while, it kind of gets like, ugh. Like right now, it's February, and it's like, well, daylight savings is coming soon, which means the days will be slightly light out longer. Like, it'll get dark around 6 now, or then, when the change happens, which will be cool. Because at least then I can take my daughter to the park for a little bit. It won't be long. We only have like an hour of light, but still, at least we can go to the park for an hour. Granted, there's no snow. I don't know. We kind of have a lot of snow around here, so a lot of this needs to melt first, but you know what I mean. Where in winter, that's just not an option. I pick her up at 4:30. It's already dark. So, yeah. I guess not only video games, but it kind of justifies, like, my daughter likes to just come home with me sometimes and just watch TV. Like, we've had a Sunday where literally that's all we did was watch TV. And in winter, it's justified. It's like, well, okay, what else are we going to do? It's cold out, it's snowing, yeah. But in summer, it would be like, come on, I don't want to watch TV all day. Let's go do something fun. So anyways, that's one thing that's kind of decent. And the other thing is, I was thinking, bad weather usually means, like, cancellations. Like school. When you're in school, you got a snow day, you get to stay home. And depending on your situation, that could be awesome. Like when I grew up, our mom was just a stay-at-home mom, so it was cool. We were just home. You have to do whatever. Watch TV, play with our toys, hang out with mom. Now, like I said, depending on your situation, because, I mean, if you have parents that work, well, then maybe you got to go to, like, a babysitter's or something, and that's not so fun. I guess it's better than school. I don't know. Like I said, my mom was always home with us, so I know that as my option. I don't know about a babysitter. I mean, I know for my daughter, her mom has a babysitter go over to her place, so, I mean, at the end of the day, she still is home, so I guess it's kind of okay. It's just you're with a babysitter instead of your parent. So, but, yeah. Which, though, one thing that, because of all this stupid COVID stuff right now and remote learning, I feel bad for the kids because today is Tuesday, February 9th, as I'm talking about this, and the school has already canceled school for the day because, well, there's supposed to be a fair amount of snow coming in. So far, as I'm doing this, I'm driving back from the place that I have to drop things off, like I always am, and it's 9:12, and it's not really snowing. Yeah, it's snowing, but it's like the snow equivalent of misting outside. Like, you know, nobody gets worried over mist when it's misting out. It's just annoying, if anything. That's all it is for snow. I don't even know what to call this. What do you call it? It's not flurries. It's just a couple flakes flapping around. But anyways, what I'm trying to get at is it seems kind of pointless that school has been canceled for this. I mean, they could have had like a half day instead. This is kind of dumb. It's already, like I said, it's already 9:12 and it's not even doing anything. But anyway, yeah, it got canceled. So when I got the call, at first I thought it's just an automated thing. So when they gave me the call, I thought, oh, that's cool. I got excited for my daughter because I thought, oh, she's going to get the day off. That's cool. And then they followed it up with, there'll be remote learning. And I was like, oh, that sucks. Like, these kids are getting ripped off of snow days because of the stupid remote learning. Because that's part of the situation nowadays, is stupid remote learning. Because, like, what they have is the cohorts. At least my daughter's school, they have cohorts. There's A, B. I guess technically there's C and D. My daughter's cohort A. So that means she goes to school physically on Monday and Tuesday. And then everybody doesn't go to school on Wednesday. Because Wednesday is the day that the teachers clean and stuff. So, the teachers are there, but there's no students. And then cohort B is they go to school Thursday and Friday. And then, so the kids, so my daughter cohort A is Monday, Tuesday physically in school. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is online or remote. Obviously, Wednesday is kind of clunky because you don't really have access to a teacher. She says there's one morning meeting, and then that's it. Where Thursday, Friday, there's a couple meetings, which I tried to figure this out with her because I said, well, does your teacher teach other kids, like the cohort B kids? Is she teaching them? And she says yes. So I'm like, well, how's this working? How are you having virtual meetings with her while she's also teaching a class? Like, does she have a camera set up so that way then you all are a part of it? Or, I don't know. She says, no, there's no camera, but I don't understand how this works then. But anyways, and then the cohort B kids is opposite. They go to school Thursday, Friday, so they have remote on Monday, Tuesday. And then apparently there's cohort C. I think my daughter was just making this up. She says cohort C is the teachers when they go to work on Wednesday. And then cohort D are the kids who are 100% remote. She says there's a couple that she knows of that are that. One of them was her friend Liberty. She's cohort D. And I think she said a couple other kids that are cohort D. So, anyway, though, that sucks, because now with the stupid online, that's still an option. So even though today's a snow day, it really doesn't matter. It's like she's just a cohort B kid now, basically. you know, doing the remote stuff on Monday and Tuesday. So it's, I don't know, it's kind of disappointing for them. Just like around Christmas. I mean, they were doing, so Christmas Eve was a Thursday, I mean. So even on Wednesday, they still had remote learning stuff to do. And I was like, man, this sucks. When I went to school, we wouldn't have school now. Chances are we would have had the whole entire week off. But now because of stupid remote, man, why do I keep stumbling over everything? Stupid remote learning, these kids are going to school all the way up until Wednesday. Or not really going to school, but you know what I mean, having to do schoolwork. It's like, man, these kids are getting ripped off because of stupid COVID. Ugh. But anyways, that was something cool about winter, was snow days. Then you could stay home and it was awesome. Even as an adult, some of the jobs I've had, you got to take advantage of snow days as well. Like my last company that I worked for was very far, and they had employees from a wide radius. I mean, I think it was like 100-mile radius people would come from. I was one of them. Well, sort of. I was 50-mile radius. 100 miles a day, though, is what I was putting on my car to go to work. So anyway, yeah, they had a policy where if it was supposed to snow, you didn't have to call out. If you didn't show up, it didn't count anything negative against you. People just knew. As long as the warning was on, you had to call in to see if that was in effect, and if it was, you didn't have to go to work. Granted, you wouldn't get paid unless you used a sick day or personal day or whatever, but still, it was just like you don't have to physically call out. You know, you don't have to tell your supervisor, I don't feel like coming in today. It was just, this is in effect, so I'm not going. And I always took advantage of that. Not to take advantage and take days off, but I worked far, so I just thought, well, geez, what if it gets bad? Like, sometimes I'd wake up, and it wouldn't be too bad in my area, but I thought, well, I don't know what it's like out there, and what if it gets worse as the day goes on, and I gotta drive 50 miles back in this? Like, 50 miles, when you say it, doesn't sound that bad, but when you're actually driving it, it's an hour and 10, 15 minutes on a good day of driving, okay? Add in crappy weather, that probably brings it up to 2 hours plus. Like, I wasn't trying to do that, so I used to just take advantage of it all the time and just stay home. Figured, if I don't have to go, why do it? So I mean, that was always kind of cool, just random days off. You know, you wake up, check the thing, oh, this is in effect, good, go back to sleep. And then at my company prior, well, they didn't really have a setup like that. I was local, but a lot of times when it was crappy out, the president of the company would just say that we're going to shut down, so that was always kind of cool. That's kind of like where I'm at now too, the company now. It was crappy out one day, and I thought for sure we weren't having work. Nope, we still were supposed to have work. So I showed up. I don't know when I got there. I got there at like 9:30, I think. But I was like, God dang it. Normally I'd be off now. But because it's a different company and we still have to be open. Ugh. Like today, it's, like I said, it's February 9th. It's supposed to snow. So there's the chance that maybe we'll at least get out early. The last time we had a snowstorm, we left at 1:30. So that was cool. So if the snow picks up, there's at least that potential that I can get a half day. I'd rather have no day. That'd be cool, so I can sleep in. So I always think about that too. Like, half days suck. People get excited about half days, but it's like, when you think about it, you still have to get up early. There's nothing exciting about a half day. You know, no day is better. Then you get to sleep in and get up when you're ready. I mean, chances are, chances are most times when the half day is over, that's when I'd be getting up. But nah, half days are usually until at least noon. I don't ever get up at noon. Usually, like, an ideal day for me is wake up at 10:30 or 11. So noon is a little longer. But yeah, is there anything else that's kind of cool? I guess one more thing that's slightly okay about winter is I feel like I can put myself together, like, clothing-wise, better than in winter. I can put myself together clothing-wise better in winter than I can in summer. Like, I feel like I look much fresher in winter than I do in summer. And I feel like I probably only think that only because I'm bulky nowadays. So in winter, I can kind of hide some of it. You know, you layer up and put on a jacket, and then it's all just kind of blends in, and you still look bulky, but it looks more like you just got like a big jacket on or something. Where summer, there's nothing to hide you. Like, it's just all hanging out like, oh, you're bulky. Ugh. So that's another thing I slightly like about winter is looking better. Sort of. Yeah, so like I was saying too, clothes. Yeah, and I just feel like the clothes in winter look better too. Like, especially when you dress up, a long sleeve button down with like a sweater vest and stuff, you can really pull off some good looking looks. Where summer, first off, if you wear long sleeves in summer, yeah, it's an option, but it's a psychotic option. You're gonna be hot and miserable, and you don't want to be wearing that. So you end up wearing short sleeves. Well, I don't like short sleeve button downs. I don't think they look good. I never have, and I probably never will think so. They look goofy. Like, I get it, but I just don't like how they look. I have one short sleeve button down. That's because it's something that my daughter chose for me with her mom for, it was either my birthday or for Father's Day. Probably Father's Day, actually, because that's in summer. So I wear that one because she kind of, got it for me. But otherwise, I don't wear those. It looks weird. Especially if you couple it with a tie. Oh, it looks even weirder. At least make it casual. Usually when I wear it, I try to wear it with jeans. I feel like jeans is the best option for a button-down short-sleeve shirt. Because if you try to wear it with, like, slacks or something, it's too weird. You need to have long sleeves. So, anyway, yeah, winter sucks. Definitely the worst. Summer's the awesomest, minus a few things like humidity and gnats and stuff. And then fall and winter, they're just in the middle. I mean, fall and winter, wow. Fall and spring are in the middle. They have their pluses, they have their minuses. So it's kind of like, if you compare them to the galactic legends of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, Supreme Leader Kylo is summer. Rey and Sith Eternal Emperor, are spring and fall. Actually, yeah, probably in that order too when you think about just the wordplay. And then winter is Grandmaster Luke, who was such a waste. And I'm not trying to go into that now, but man, he was a waste. What a waste of a character that should have been awesome. F you, Disney. Anyway, yeah, that's it. That's my little rant on the seasons. So until the next one, which might be a little bit more of a, I think I might know what I'm doing next, and it might be kind of a, I don't want to say heartfelt, but kind of more of a somber topic. I don't mean to mislead this. I don't know how to explain it. I know what I'm going to be talking about next, though, probably. Yeah, probably. That's the only thing I really have in mind. So until that one, you already know, I said see ya.